Niger to meet with GCAM and opposition leader to discuss general and regional elections. Government slams opposition leaders' allegations of fraud, and the government signs 2-year MOU with Conservation International to continue green development. These stories and more in this week's InfoHub Recap, where we review stories covered for the week of February 25th to 28th.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
The public was on Monday made aware of a fake social media profile purporting to be that of Minister of State Joseph Harmon. An advisory was issued to caution persons about the fake profile and misleading information being shared.
Minister of State Joseph Harmon wishes to advise the public that he is in no way associated with a Facebook profile bearing his name, which is offering homes to interested persons. In a post on his personal Facebook page on Sunday evening, Minister Harmon issued the following statement. Please be advised, it has been brought to my attention that there is a fake account purporting to represent the Minister of State, Joseph Harmon. This fake account is in no way associated with me, anything or anyone I am affiliated with. I hereby wish to advise that you report this account if it comes to your attention. Thank you. Let us continue to remain steadfast in the light of fake news and fake accounts. Over the weekend, a Facebook profile surfaced purporting to be Minister of State Joseph Harmon. The user of the fake profile sought to create mischief and public confusion by posting a status which indicated the persons interested in becoming homeowners to make contact with Minister of Public Health Valdo Lawrence no later than 2 p.m. Sunday, February 24, 2019. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
A South African delegation comprising Deputy Minister of Mineral Resources Godfrey Oliphant has been in Guyana from February 24th to March 2 to explore possible areas of collaboration between the two countries.
The South African delegation arrived in Guyana on Sunday, February 24 to 2019. The following day, both teams met for official introductions and discussions on the possible areas of collaboration aside from mutual interest of mining. The South African team was invited to Guyana by the government during an overseas meeting last year. Following the meeting, Minister Trotman said there are 3 areas of interest government will be exploring.
Training, of course. South Africa is a very large, complex and exciting place, but it brings experiences of how they've overcome some of the challenges that we're facing. So we hope to expose our staff at the GGMC and the Gold Board and of course at the policy level to being able to experience first world training opportunities. Secondly, we hope to deepen the exchanges between the two countries as at a government level and at the institutional level, where the counterpart in the GGMC would be able to relate to its counterpart in the South Africa region, or at least Southern Africa. And thirdly, we would want to invite investment from South Africa to Guyana.
Minister Trotman believes South Africa's experience in mining will be useful to Guyana.
We believe that financially, South Africa has a wherewithal, and it has experience in mining, gold and diamonds in particular, and it's important, we think, that we not look only to the West insofar as mining is concerned, Canada or Australia, no, China, but we believe that we can and should have some African interests mining in Guyana as well.
During the meeting, Deputy Minister of Mineral Resources of South Africa, Godfrey Oliphant, said he was happy to be invited to Guyana to explore opportunities for economic collaboration.
South Africa is a very huge mining country. We've been mining in that country for well over 150 years. We do have what it takes, the experience, the knowledge, the skills, and we're still going to mine for the next 100 years. So we are a mining country. Wherever we get invitations, like my minister here invited us last year already, when we met with the High Commissioner at the Mining Harbour. They extended an invitation. We couldn't come then, but here we are today to share experiences, but also to learn from the beautiful country, your beautiful country.
Reporting for InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
77 Guyanese will be bestowed national awards this year.
President Granger made the announcement on the occasion of Guyana's 49th Republic anniversary on Saturday, February 23. Among the awardees are Guyana's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Frederick Hamley Case, Senior Counsel Charles Fungafat, and Monsignor Terence Montrose, who will receive the Cassie Crown of Honor. Vincent Alexander, William Andrew Boyle, Lerlin Anita Nestor, Genevieve White Ned, and William Wolford are among 36 who will receive the Golden Arrowhead of Achievement. The Medal of Service will be bestowed on Leslie Crispin Ramallo, Komal Singh, Shamiza Bashk, and Nizam Qasim, along with 27 others. The lone awardee of the Military Service Medal is Lieutenant Colonel Courtney Arthur Byrne, while Deputy Commissioner Lyndon Lancelot Alves, Assistant Commissioner Paul Handel Anthony Langevine, and Divisional Officer Compton Anthony Sparman will be bestowed the Disciplined Service Medal. Since assuming office in 2015, President David Granger has been conferring the awards upon Guyanese. He said the conferral is recognized as a mechanism provided under the Constitution of Guyana to give due national recognition to outstanding citizens, and has committed to ensuring that these honors are conferred regularly. In 2015, 19 women from a total of 53 received the national awards. The following year, 86 deserving Guyanese were conferred with the awards. By 2017, 69 persons received the national awards, and 96 Guyanese, including 49 women, were duly awarded last year by the head of state. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
A 2-year memorandum of understanding has been inked between the Ministry of Natural Resources and Conservation International. This will ensure the continuance of Guyana's green economic growth and development.
Speaking at the signing ceremony held at Carroll Lodge, Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Chutman says the MOU is slated to provide relevant financial, administrative, institutional and technical assistance through a consultative process in program development.
It is recognized by both the Ministry of Natural Resources and CI that an ideal green economy is built on the principles of increasing human well-being and social equity, while reducing ecological scarcities and environmental risks. And it is only fitting that we formally collaborate to achieve these. This MOU will allow Guyana to meet international commitments. It will also help us to cultivate a culture focused on conservation and management of Guyana's resources. Thirdly, it will support policy development and legislative reform and enable public dialogue on the extractive industry sector.
The minister said the partnership will further enhance the interest of exploring, developing, and sustaining the country's patrimony. Senior Technical Director of Conservation International Guyana, Curtis Bernard, noted that the partnership aims to ensure the country's natural resources are explored responsibly, contributing to the country's wealth.
Our partnership has resulted in the continued operation of Guyana's state-of-the-art MRVS system, and more recently worked towards responsible mining for Guyana through the Eldorado Gold Initiative.
He stressed that this diverse partnership will definitely help to achieve the agency's 2025 vision to secure the country's natural heritage. Over the years, CI has been providing both technical and financial support to the ministry, directly in areas such as MRS systems, responsible gold mining policies and practices, and more recently, the development of the management plan of Napi catchment area, and also the development of the Red Plus initiative. Neola Diman, InfoHub.
Managing Director of Schlumberger, Sean Herrera, has expressed satisfaction with his experience of doing business in Guyana. Herrera was speaking in Houston, Texas on Wednesday as a panelist at the Baker Institute's Forum on Oil and Gas Development in Guyana.
In his address to the audience, Mr. Herrera assured the attendees that Guyana had everything necessary to encourage investment.
Open, transparent regulatory framework and permitting process, tax and/or duty concessions on holidays, access to a skilled and educated workforce, free movement of capital and human resources, at least in initial phases, no restrictions on foreign property ownership, a friendly banking environment, a stable political environment, and personal and asset safety and security being assured.
He further went on to highlight the ease of doing business within Guyana.
I am happy to confirm that the Guyanese government and the people have got those above things right. And, and essentially, I would say that from our perspective and in our experience, we don't see any reasons why, these barriers are all but absent. And I will endorse everything that my esteemed colleagues are telling you about doing business in Guyana. I'm happy to take questions specifically on what some of the challenges that we may have experienced as a service company, foreign investing in Guyana, and how we overcame them. But those challenges were very, very few.
Herrera made a call to those looking to invest in Guyana to take the leap and come.
I will join my colleagues in encouraging you guys to bring your expertise and your resources and your investment into Guyana. I promise you it will bear fruit.
Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
The miller involved in a shipment of rice to Panama has accepted responsibility for its mix-up following its rejection upon delivery.
Fiad Haq of A. Kayum Haq and Son, the miller who exported rice to Panama, released a statement indicating that he has accepted full responsibility for the apparent mix-up of rice shipped to Panama. Representative of the company, Juman Yassin.
Mr. Haq is a rice miller and the owner of the rice mill situated at Cane Grove, East Coast, Demerara. He has accepted responsibility for this mix-up, and he's also accepted responsibility publicly here today for this apparent mix-up for the shipment being parboiled rice instead of white rice. He indicates there must have been some negligence involved, and as the owner of the mill, he has accepted responsibility and will ensure that in future there is more stricter safeguards and control. He wishes to categorically state that he does not know of any corrupt employees and or officials of the GRDB, and all the dealings that he has had with the GRDB and the employees was above board.
Meanwhile, General Manager of the GRDB, Nazim Hassan, took the opportunity to update persons on the matter of rice being confiscated in Jamaica.
We learned from one of the articles of who the buyer of that alleged confiscation was. We then contacted that buyer. That buyer also did not provide us with any information. So as we speak to you, we have no additional information with regards to the issues surrounding the alleged confiscation of rice that was exported to Jamaica.
Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
President David Granger will commence consultation with the Guyana Elections Commission on its operational readiness to deliver credible general and regional elections. He has written to the chairman of the commission for them to prepare for the commencement of consultation.
President David Granger has written to the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, and the leader of the opposition, Bar Jagdeo, for separate consultations to be held on the issue of general and regional elections. Minister of State Joseph Harmon explains.
Yesterday, the President received a letter from the chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission. The President, having received that letter, responded to the chairman of the Elections Commission, indicating to the Commission that he noted the concerns which were raised in their letter and that he has asked that the Commission stands ready to commence a consultation with him on the operational readiness of the Elections Commission to deliver credible elections. He noted, of course, their concern that there was not any appropriation made in the 2019 budget for anything other than house-to-house registration, and that the Elections Commission was going to proceed with their program of house-to-house registration. So that is the context of the exchange of letters between the Elections Commission and the President.
Minister Harmon explained that based on the issues raised in the letter sent by GCOM's chairman, President Granger has asked to meet with the leader of the opposition. On the agenda for that meeting are the National Assembly's constitutional role in the present situation and GCOM's readiness and requirement for funding to enable it to conduct general and regional elections.
The President has always kept himself open and available to consult with the leader of the opposition on matters of national interest. Now, based on that letter which the Elections Commission sent to him, the President felt it was necessary to consult with the leader of the opposition, and so he in fact instructed me to write the leader of the opposition, which I did today, and I pointed out that the President was inviting the leader of the opposition to a consultation on the 6th of March at 1100 hours at the Ministry of the Presidency.
For InfoHub, Rebecca Ganesh.
The government will continue to stand with workers who were recently dismissed by the United Company Russian Aluminum, Rusal. Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali reaffirmed this commitment on Wednesday.
Following a meeting with Rusal's Director of Aluminum and Bauxite Department, Vladimir Pomyakov, on Tuesday, Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali met with representatives from the Guyana Bauxite and General Workers Union, where she updated them on the current status of the matter. During the meeting held at her Lamaha Street office, Minister Ali reiterated that the government will not tolerate the manner in which the Russian company is operating.
I do not think that we can tolerate, I don't like to refer to them as expatriates, but these companies coming in to partner with Guyana and operate in this fashion. And that is why I believe the aspect of mutual respect is very important.
The Social Protection Minister told the union representatives that it was indicated to Rusal that government will not be accepting the conditions put forward.
Government will not accept what is presently existing. And I did indicate to them that we will go to the lengths. We will explore the options, and we are going to have to make a decision on this matter.
President of the Guyana Bauxite and General Workers Union, Lincoln Lewis, suggested an examination of the company's mining license.
We need to examine the license. What the license is. Are they conforming to those licenses? Like where they extract bauxite, they refill and replant. We need to look at all those type of things.
Minister Ali assured Lewis that an examination of their mining license is being discussed. Also present at the meeting were Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection Keith Scott and Chief Labour Officer Charles Ogle.
Guyana's oil and gas industry is attracting a significant amount of international interest. Minister of Business Dominique Gaskin made the pronouncement while delivering his address at a Baker Institute Forum on Oil and Gas Development in Guyana, hosted at the Rice University in Houston, Texas.
The business minister said Guyana is seeking to partner with reputable international companies and is seeking an arrangement which will benefit the country in the short, medium and long terms.
Our country remains open for business, and we welcome all the interest, and we welcome investments. We want your business, but our people have needs, and our needs are our priorities. So we want to work with you, and we want you to work with us.
Minister Gaskin noted that Guyana is not seeking to become the new Singapore or Norway, but is seeking to become the new Guyana, a country which is relevant to locals, where young Guyanese can see a bright future.
We are also fortunate to be starting out at a time when there's a wealth of information available on every aspect of the oil and gas sector, and its impact on various economies at different stages of their development.
The minister reiterated that proper management of this sector is important, therefore the government is in the process of finalizing the local content policy for the sector. Minister Gaskin was among a visiting team to Houston, Texas, including Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson, Guyana Geology and Mines Commission head Newell Dennison, and consultancy firms exploring the oil and gas prospects in Guyana. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
The government is forging ahead with its plans to establish drug treatment courts across the country. The announcement was made by Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan at the opening of the first alternative treatment training exercise held on Wednesday.
At the reception held at the Pegasus Guyana Hotel for the pilot testing of the alternatives to incarceration training, Prime Minister Moses Nagamootoo stated, experience has shown that the mechanism of incarceration for dealing with our young, poor, and underprivileged drug-hooked offenders is providing little or no opportunity for breaking recidivism cycles of drugs, crime, and incarceration.
Through this technical cooperation program between CICAD and Guyana, our judicial, public health, and social protection agencies working together in unity will most likely make substantial advances in our substance abuse and criminal justice efforts.
Ambassador Adam Nam of the Inter-America Drug Abuse Control Commission, CICAD, explained that popular in the Western Hemisphere, where about 15 countries in that hemisphere either have drug treatment courts or expanding the treatment courts, or like Guyana, that is now piloting a drug treatment court.
Why are they so popular? Because they've been proven to work. They're a public health approach, a humanitarian approach for minor offenders, not to throw them in jail, to give them treatment. They work because they reduce recidivism, because if you send a minor criminal to jail, they often come out a more hardened criminal. And number three, they work because they can save countries money.
The Inter-American Drug Abuse Control Commission, CICAD, is the drug control agency of the Organization of American States, OAS. Drug courts are problem-solving courts that take a public health approach using a specialized model in which the judiciary, prosecution, defense bar, probation, law enforcement, mental health, social service, and treatment communities work together to help addict offenders in long-term recovery. For InfoHub, Rebecca Ganesh.
The Court of Appeal has set March 15th to hear the appeal of the acting Chief Justice's ruling on the December 21 vote.
The hearing of an application for an interim stay of the Chief Justice's ruling on January 31 and a conservatory order preserving the status quo ante that the President and the Cabinet remain in office was brought before Judge Rishi Prasad today. Minister of Legal Affairs and Attorney General Basil Williams made it clear that there will be no constitutional crisis if the opposition leader does not meet with the President within the 90-day period.
There is no drop-dead date after 90 days. There were two options given inside that same provision. It means that the section contemplates after 90 days without an election, you move to the stage where the two parties talk to get a two-thirds majority. That has to be a process. And so they must have recognized that it won't be 90 days exactly.
The Attorney General explained that the government cannot conduct an election, but rather it is the Guyana Election Commission who has to do so based on its readiness.
Our contention is that 106.7 is an erroneous provision. Why is it erroneous? Because it purports to repose in the government the conduct of elections. And the government does not have the conduct of elections. The party given the conduct of elections by our constitution is the Guyana Elections Commission. And there are a set of provisions dealing with that, to 161 to 162, where they have the absolute remit for the conduct of elections.
A.G. Williams said that President Granger is prepared to meet with the opposition leader. The next hearing will be on Friday, March 15. Seneca Thorne, InfoHub.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenwich met recently and engaged members of the Guyanese diaspora in St. Kitts and Nevis. During the meeting, Minister Greenwich briefed attendees on several topics, including the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy, the developing oil and gas sector in Guyana, and the current political climate following the December 21 vote. Attendees also had an opportunity to discuss matters relating to the movement of Venezuelan migrants across the border, Guyana's maritime space, and the development of human capital and infrastructure. The meeting was organized on the sidelines of the 30th intersessional meeting of the Conference of Heads of Governments of the Caribbean Community, which was held on February 26th and 27th in St. Kitts and Nevis. Minister of State Joseph Harmon has condemned what government deems as the malicious and deceitful statements made by the opposition leader at his press conference, where he accused President David Granger and his administration of fraudulent behavior through the issuance of 2 separate letters to the chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission.
Minister Harmon said Jagdeo has descended to a new level of disrespect for the office of the president and the government by maligning the good character of the head of state in his office and by deliberately, maliciously misleading the public.
If Dr. Jagdeo, Mr. Jagdeo, the leader of the opposition, wants to go ahead and rant and rave, as seemed to have been the case here, refusing to answer questions, legitimate questions posed by the media, then it is all his right to do so. But I believe that for the good governance of this country, for the order of this country, that the leader of the opposition should avail himself of sound advice and respond in a manner that is befitting the office of the leader of the opposition, and not to go about running people down, berating them, berating the high office of the president.
According to a release from the Ministry of the Presidency, the head of state received a letter from Justice Patterson on Monday, hours before he departed for medical treatment in Cuba. He responded promptly in his first letter, which states in its opening paragraph, quote, "Dear Chairman, I acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 2019 or 2/21. I have noted your statement to the effect that the Commission does not have the capability to deliver credible general and regional elections within the 3-month time frame commencing 21/12/2018, and that additional funds appropriated by the National Assembly need to be provided." In that same letter, the President also assured the Commission that the government is committed to doing whatever is needed to ensure that it is provided with the financial resources and has enough time to conduct credible elections. In the second letter, the President states, quote, "Dear Chairman, I wrote to you earlier acknowledging receipt of your letter dated 21/02/2019 and the documents enclosed. I have noted the requirements stated by the Guyana Elections Commission hearing for the preparation and delivery of general and regional elections in 2019. I have noted also that GCOM as a constitutional agency will require a new appropriation of funds approved by the National Assembly for the conduct of general and regional elections. I now write to you in that context for us to initiate consultations on the readiness of GCOM for the conduct of general and regional elections in 2019. Minister Harmon said the second letter refers to the need to consult since the GCOM chair raised issues of time and the lack of financial resources.
Later on in the day, after the document again was read a second and third time, it was recognized that GCOM was basically saying that they needed money and they needed to set out a timetable for elections. And so the president felt it was necessary to invite them to a consultation so that those matters can be dealt with. So there are 2 letters correct. The first letter is an acknowledgement of the chairman of the Elections Commission's letter. The second letter refers to the first letter. It says that I wrote you earlier and I'm now saying further. So how could you now say that this is something that is doctored?
Further, the minister said he has noted that the opposition leader has chosen not to respond to the president's invitation as protocol dictates. He, however, believes that there is enough time before the March 6 meeting for Jagdeo to reconsider his decision. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
To raise awareness about the Commonwealth and to raise funds for charities and foundations, Richard Allen, a former Royal Marines Commando of the British Army, rode from the shores of Sierra Leone, West Africa, and docked in Guyana on Wednesday to a grand welcome.
Alan arrived in Guyana around sunset on Wednesday, February 27, 2019. Speaking to the media moments after docking at the Harbour Masters Boathouse in Georgetown, he explained the purpose of his journey.
It's all about trying to raise awareness and change common misconceptions about the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth isn't about politics or politicians or anything like that in any way. It's all about people. It's about 2.4 billion of us. So we should really be coming together to help each other.
During a press briefing at the Guyana Tourism Authority's boardroom earlier today, the Guyana Foundation representative, Supriya Singh Bodin, said Alan will be raising awareness on the foundation's work and the environment.
In our discussions, both Richard and I, we talk so long and so deeply about the fact that the natural beauty and the natural flora and fauna of Guyana and the seas, that is one of the most important resources that we possess. And how do we begin a program of education?
According to Alan, this project will create collaboration among schools across continents.
Like I said, we've created a network of children learning about each other and working together. I think that would be an amazing thing, because children are growing up to say, we're not just isolated on our own, we're now kind of got friends and we're working on something together with someone.
During his visit, Alan will be visiting the various project sites of the Guyana Foundation, as well as several schools. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
Santa Rosa in Region 1 is actively working to revive its once thriving coffee industry, following a $25 million investment from the coalition government.
Upon being granted the opportunity to venture into an economic project, the residents of Santa Rosa came together and opted to revive their coffee industry. They are not being left to handle things on their own, as they are being assisted in the venture by coffee specialist Leroy Santiago out of Mexico. One of the farmers explained that Santiago has been providing the know-how with regards to soil preparation.
He brought in the ProMix, which is a special soil a humus that is recommended for coffee, and that we are mixing here. We're mixing the creek sand from the creek, a topsoil that is around here, just the topsoil, the black sand. And then we have the burnt paddy with the chicken mole that he brings from the coast, that he brought from the coast, and dry paddy shells. We mixed it together, and that's what you're seeing down there.
Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Valerie Garrido-Lowe, explained that 15 farmers from the 11 satellite communities will receive 800 plantlets per acre.
This is where we'll start building the facility and start to furnish it and so on, but mostly to build the facility, the processing facility. It's a 3-year project, and the coffee would be at least within 2.5 years it would bear. So we want to be ready when it bears to process it. So what we want to market is Santa Rosa indigenous ground coffee.
Reporting for InfoHub, Nkosi Bruce.
This has been InfoHub Recap, where we reviewed stories covered for the week of February 25th to 28th. Goodbye.